Yo, what's cooking, everybody? This is your boy, Double R, Ray Marz, back with another edition of the Backstage Pass. That is the official YouTube podcast show, what have you, of your favorite independent wrestler and mine, Double R Marz. Man's so quick on his feet that he can't be beat. And yes, for all of you Facebook users, I am like button tested, like button approved. You dig? That should be my new catchphrase. Well, my catchphrase in general, because I don't have one yet. But anyway, this is the Monday night, December 21st, 2009 edition of the Backstage Pass. Probably you won't be seeing it until Tuesday morning, the 22nd, but I'm filming it on Monday night from the Shrine, meaning I got some sports on the mind as I sit here watching the talking heads of the ESPN network. Talking a little bit about Brett Favre and Coach Jim Henson. I'll get to that a little bit later. But, yeah, I just had the pleasure of watching my New York Football Giants dismantle the Washington Redskins in a Monday night contest that the Giants not only needed to win to keep their playoff hopes alive, but needed to win to keep their playoff hopes alive, basically. And they not only needed to win, but they needed to win big against a division rival that had been playing lights-out football for the last couple of weeks. A team that almost beat the Saints, almost beat the Cowboys, almost beat the Eagles. Yeah, almost doesn't count, but you think about that, the Redskins could be 7-6 right now and could be in the thick of the NFC East playoff chase, but they're not. But this team's playing with a lot of heart. They're playing for their jobs. They're playing for their, well, at least until tonight, they were playing for their coach's job because up until a couple days ago, they thought that their coach, the better they played, the better of a chance that their coach Jim Zorn might be safe because they like Jim Zorn. But given the events of the past couple of days, it's safe to say that I think that distracted the Redskins enough for them to mail it in. If not just for tonight, then for the rest of the season. I'm referring, of course, to the general manager, I believe it was, let's call him the general manager, Vinny Serrato of the Washington Redskins, resigning. Basically, the guy who was second fiddle to Dan Snyder. Bruce Allen, former general manager of the Bucks, was signed a couple days ago to fill that void. And now that started all the rumors. John Gruden to coach the Redskins, which apparently isn't happening. Mike Shanahan's the name floating around right now, especially because when Shanahan got interviewed for the Redskins coaching job in the offseason, apparently he wanted Snyder to hire Bruce Allen as the general manager. Not entirely sure what that connection is or how true that rumor is. That's why it's a rumor. But the Dallas Cowboys is the other name Shanahan was linked to, and as of right now, Wade Phillips is still the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Perhaps not for long if Dallas suffers another December collapse, which they're known for. And I know what you're thinking, and I'll get to it later. With Bruce Allen being signed to the Redskins, it makes me believe that there's really little to no chance that Zorn comes back next season. And all those players that up until as recently as last week were playing their hearts out, possibly to help Zorn keep his job, knowing, they're not stupid. I think they know that Zorn's not going to be back next year. Anyone with a brain who follows football, following this whole story, knows that Zorn ain't coming back next year. And I think the players know that, and they really have nothing to play for anymore. I mean, why would you want to play hard for a coach to keep his job when you know it's not going to work, and he's going to be fired anyway by the end of the season? Redskins have been out of the playoffs for weeks. Just saying. On to the Dallas Cowboys. They get to play these Washington Redskins next week, these thoroughly uninspired Redskins, and yes, Dallas is known for choking in December, and yes, I'm fully aware that they won against the Saints. They ended the undefeated streak. They stopped the Saints from getting a perfect season. Now, they're supposed to be, cured of all their December losing woes, right? I don't buy it. And I'll tell you why I don't buy it. Because last year, at this very same time, Week 15, Dallas, fighting for a playoff berth like they are this season, rolled into the house of the number one seed at that point in the NFC, the New York Giants, rolled into the Meadowlands, killed us. Well, I don't remember if it was at the Meadowlands, but they beat us 20-8. And they defeated the Saints this year. They knocked them off of the undefeated perch. And, last year when they did the exact same thing, And all the fans said the same thing, that, their losing woes have been conquered. They got killed in their last 2 games, especially by the Eagles, who, by the way, have won the NFC East. Congratulations to them for that. Basically, securing the fact that the Giants will not repeat as NFC East champions. But the Eagles killed the Cowboys in the last game of the season last year, knocked them out of the playoffs, put themselves in, and the rest is history. The same. I don't have no reason to believe that won't happen again this year. The Redskins always play Dallas tough. And yeah, they don't have anything to play for as far as keeping their coach's job or whatnot. But they hate the Cowboys. I'm willing to put money on the fact they hate the Cowboys more than they hate the Giants, and they would like nothing better than to keep Dallas out of the playoffs. The Giants beat Carolina next week at home, coupled with a potential Dallas loss. And I'm picking that. I might pick that as my upset special of the week next week, Redskins over Dallas, because public's going to be pounding Dallas because the fans have a short memory. They're not going to remember the same exact thing happened last year. Oh, God, I can't even watch ESPN right now. Stuart Scott's lazy eye is really scaring me to the point where I kind of forgot what I was talking about. But, yeah, we'll look for the Redskins to beat Dallas next week. And Giants, hey, if they can play against Carolina and the Minnesota Vikings the way that they played tonight, we're going to be unstoppable, especially because of all the drama surrounding the Vikings now. Brett Favre is done. He's played like garbage the last couple of weeks. He said a couple of weeks ago he doesn't know if he'll be able to make it to the end of the season. That should be an immediate red flag for all Vikings fans everywhere. And I have no reason to believe that they won't go one and done in the playoffs. Because, again, fans have short memory. The exact same thing happened with the Jets last year. This time Minnesota's already in the playoffs. The Jets weren't. But Brett played badly enough last year down the stretch to keep the Jets out of the playoffs. And I think all that is happening again. And, they tried to pull him from the game yesterday. That's the big news going around. Childress tried to pull him. Brett refused. And now they're all, angry at each other. And, the bromance is, it's fading. And, they're all angry at each other and stuff like that. And Brett deserves it. He's a piece of crap. I believe that's all I want to talk about in the realm of sports right now. If I missed any important points, I'll get to it on the next show. Little wrestling before I close out this edition of the Backstage Pass. Your boy's a little disappointed that he didn't get to wrestle the show he was supposed to wrestle this past weekend. Myself and some of the other BWO guys were supposed to go to Connecticut. I was supposed to make a debut in a new state. My car had other ideas. I broke down before I hit the parkway. Discovered I needed a new battery. By the time I finally made it back to my place of residence, and all the other vehicles that I could have taken were snowed in. It was snowing really bad in Ocean County. Not so much. The weather wasn't as bad where I was supposed to meet the other guys from BWO who I was supposed to ride with, but by the time I got back to my place, it was impossible. The roads were impossible. I couldn't go anywhere. We ended up getting almost 2 feet of snow down in Ocean County. And I'm sure the BWO represented well. But I'm also kind of sure that those fans came away from that show just a little disappointed, for reasons they might not even know. But your boy knows why that is. They came away disappointed because they are yet to be introduced to Ray Marz, their favorite, soon-to-be favorite, independent wrestler, and mine. And yes, I'm a big believer that things happen for a reason, and maybe it just wasn't R's time to shine yet in Connecticut, but once I get that opportunity to debut for those fans, they won't be disappointed, believe you me. One last piece of information to talk about here. Got this little manila envelope in the mail yesterday from Dapper Johnny, the promoter for National Wrestling Superstars, NWS, which can only mean one thing. Sent me some posters, sent me some tickets. Your boy is booked on NWS. January the 30th at the Elks Lodge in Bricktown, New Jersey. That makes 2 Ocean County shows in 1 month. That, as well as January 15th at Southern Regional High School in Manahawkin. 2 Ocean County shows in 1 month. Your boy R is from Ocean County, which will be awesome. I'll talk more about both those shows next time. But for now, we are out of time. If there's anything you want me to talk about, cover on the Backstage Pass, you want a live music performance, you want to know more about your boy, you want information on a lot of things going on in the sports world, or I'll just talk to you about whatever I feel like. I'll try to oblige your request like I did with you, Dan, today, talking about the NFC East. Let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'll do it. But until next time, this has been Ray Marz and the Backstage Pass.